AJ Morse, I think, was reading till 1 o'clock last night.
All right. Emil had a good time. Dancing away. They enjoyed themselves last night, so
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
Lets them let their hair down a bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good to...
Just put it in.
Okay, you know the procedure.
Yeah.
I greet you this morning.
Good morning.
We meet again so soon.
Yes.
It is good to see you again.
Thank you.
It is interesting that you have felt it necessary to speak with us again, and we are honored to share once again time and conversation with you.
Yes.
You obviously have some more questions that you want to place, or perhaps not questions, but things you would like us to speak about with you.
Yes.
And we are pleased to try to be able to do this to the best of our ability.
Well, first of all, as you know, it's been a burden on me since last Sunday. My son is expecting twin, and the other one has died in the mother's womb, and the other one is still living. And it's only they're trying to keep it up to the 32nd week of terms. But I want, if you could ask my guides to oversee the other living baby.
Yes, it is a very difficult situation. And you know, I would like to explain something to you a little about the actual spiritual mechanism of this situation. Sometimes it is necessary for a certain soul to be escorted to your world by another soul who never has any intention of actually incarnating.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand.
And so this is the situation where two fetus are created in order for the second soul to accompany the first soul for as long as it is necessary until the completion of the attachment to the fetus is taken place. And that tells me that the soul that is still living within the mother is a very special soul and will have a very special purpose upon the earth. And therefore I believe that this soul will indeed come into your world.
Thank you very much.
Because if it does not, it is because the sustenance from the second soul has not been sufficient to see it to fulfillment. But hopefully, as the separation has now taken place, hopefully and obviously from the point of view of my world, they believe the living soul is now ready.
Thank you.
And but remember what I have said, that this special soul will have chosen quite a difficult path. A powerful soul in some ways to have chosen a difficult path, and will have a lot to learn in your world.
Yes.
You understand that?
Yes.
Yes. And so hence the need for the support in the beginning of the journey.
I will keep a close eye on it.
Yes, yes. So I am assured from my world that they are doing everything that they can now to see this child through to the fulfillment of its purpose.
Thank you very much.
And hopefully that will bring you joy.
Oh, yes, it does immediately. There's another can you tell me what mediumistic capabilities are within me?
Mm-hmm. To some extent, everyone has some varied range of mediumistic abilities. A little like everyone could learn to play a musical instrument. But some have the ability to play certain instruments or certain types of music much more fluently than others. You understand that?
Yes.
So within you is an aspect of just about all mental mediumistic faculties. But most certainly, of course, you have a very powerful ability, talent, gift, whatever you wish to call it, for healing. And I say this not just the laying on of hands, but healing in many ways. Healing through the spoken word, for instance. Oftentimes your words that you say, perhaps you do not even realize it sometimes, are indeed carrying a healing flow. Do you understand this?
Yes.
And so you have an excellent ability to be the carrier wave for the various healing energies which manifest via my world, through my world. And so I would say that this is your greatest gift, and something that I'm sure you will continue to build and improve upon for a long time ahead. But I see you also with the ability to share your knowledge, that you can teach others. And within the mediumistic faculty, this is a gift. One would not expect to say that you are a medium, I do not know, a teacher medium, I do not know. There is no words for this, and yet it is very much when you are working with students, advising them and showing them, there is a mediumistic flow of inspiration. I suppose you would put it at an inspirational level, that you can and do from time to time tap into. And I know that this flow can be strengthened considerably. And therefore your inspirational and teaching ability will continue to grow. And of course this is one of the greatest gifts, because it sows the seeds for further fruit to germinate. You understand that?
Yes.
I'm sure if you turned your attention to other aspects of mediumistic communication of a perceptive kind, what people call, you have given names to clairvoyance, clairaudience, you could utilize these, but I do not feel that you would get the same reward that you get from your teaching and your healing. And that's not a conscious reward, it's a reward to the soul. Do you understand that?
Yes. Oh, yes.
And so I do believe that your prime gifts, talents, abilities fall into the categories I have said, that of healing and of teaching. But in order to teach, you have to have a knowledge and understanding of every aspect of mediumship.
That is why attend all these lectures I possibly can
Yes.
to get the best teaching I can
Yes.
possibly have.
And that is a good foundation for which those in my world then can utilize in order to inspire and take you further.
Yes, it's excellent.
That gives you a good foundation upon which to build.
Yeah.
And these are very much your roles. This is where you are intended to work and do the greatest good. But of course all forms of mediumship become involved in the whole package, if you understand.
Well, I will follow your guidance. Wherever you lead me, I'll follow. I'll go there.
Yes, we understand, and those who work with you are very happy at this time that you have really found the intention, the time, the ability to apply yourselves, and they are so delighted to be able to work with you at this time.
Thank you. I was thinking about in the what healing concerns. Would it be? Is it? Well, actually, if I put the question another way, does my helpers consider it the best starting point for me on daily basis with patient to be at the passive state? Would that be most preferable?
I understand your question. I think you will find as you work with patients that actually your starting point will vary. Yes, of course, your intention is to try to be passive and to allow those, your healing guides, controls, physicians, to take the lead. But you may find that they will want you at a different level for different patients. Mm-hmm. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And so, as you are pacifying yourself, calming yourself, you may feel that sometimes you go a little deeper before the healing actually begins to flow at its fullest point, while at other times it seems to come more quickly.
Yes, I can feel that when I'm working with patients.
Yes.
It depends on what's wrong with them.
Yes, and that is exactly how it is to be. So the intention is to begin to be passive, to offer yourself, I beg your pardon, to be taken I will rephrase that, to allow yourself to go to this passive level. But if the initiation comes from my world sooner, then it is correct. You understand?
Yes, yes.
And sometimes when it takes a little longer and you go a little deeper, this is also correct.
Okay.
So you offer yourself, if you wish, a little like an elevator, you know?
Yes.
A lift, you know what
Yes,
I mean?
Yes.
You offer yourself, and those in my world decide which floor you will stop at.
Okay.
Does that make some sense?
Yes, if you look the way I have been working in the past with
Yes.
my patients, I always start sitting about 20 minutes before the patients arrive to calm down and settle
Yes,
down
yes.
and everything. So by the time the patient comes, I get the feeling I'm ready, but sort of halfway there.
Yes.
Halfway down.
Yes. And so it will vary according to, sometimes you will feel you are in a much lighter
Yes.
state, and other times much more passive. And this is absolutely correct.
Yes.
This is the way it is intended, because the healing energies for each patient is unique. And sometimes it is necessary to have that more passive energy coming from you to take the patient into a more passive state.
Yeah.
Because your aura connects to the patient's aura, and there is a combining, and therefore the state that you are in hopefully takes the patient to the right level to be receptive. Do you understand?
Some of them tell me that they get the feeling they're floating on a sky, and I get the feeling my hands are shrinking into the...
Yes. So
it is wonderful.
Yes, and this is correct, that your energy is not just providing the carrier way for the healing, but is actually getting the patient to the right level to be as far as is possible, of course, in order for them to be the most receptive to the energies which are needed for their condition.
That is wonderful.
Do you understand
Yes.
what I am saying to you? And so it is so much more than perhaps initially you recognize until you begin to feel these experiences. It is difficult for us to explain them. But once you have begun to feel them, then you can understand of which I speak.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Yeah. But on one occasion when I was in exercises with your medium, I went down, I went to the spiral, out to the universe. It was wonderful. Ended up in a room with full of light. There I saw people. I knew my parents. I saw a monk who calls himself George, and Master Kohan. Lippi was there, and Sandra.
You were honored to be allowed to visit my world.
It was wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Of course, it is possible at certain times for you to come and actually visit our world. And mediums in the past have done this before, and it is not for any other reason than for you. Just to bring you to touch our world, to allow you to see a little of the reality of our world. And this room with the light is the door, is the entrance to that world for you. You understand?
Yes, it was so wonderful.
It is like going through a chamber which leads you to the level at which we exist.
Yes.
And from time to time this experience will be afforded to you. Perhaps when you are least expecting it. You understand that?
Oh, yeah.
So it is when you have perhaps, I will not say earned it, but when it is felt that you...
Ready.
Yes,
Yes,
that
I
you
accept
are
that
ready.
fully.
And so it is an honor in a way, because it says to you that those in my world are wanting to honor you for your efforts and endeavors by allowing you to see a glimpse of the world in which we exist.
Yeah. I feel so safe and calm and secure when I go into these tunnels. I'm not afraid, and I just love it to have them blend in with me, feel them. I do that on a daily basis. It's just wonderful.
Yes, and it is very good practice to enhance your mediumship. Very good.
Yeah.
And the fact that you are not afraid means that you are well protected. The problem is so many people who have fear and doubt actually weaken their status. But the strength of feeling safe and secure builds your power, and you can go forward and enjoy the experiences, which is very good.
I visited a patient I've seen her a couple of times. She had breast cancer and cancer in the head, and I saw her the day before I came over here. She had an operation in her head for removing these obstacles. But I always had the prognosis feeling that she will go through it past, finish this. But I heard the news last night that my wife told me that she's almost paralyzed on the right side, and I have a feeling it's just because of the swelling in the brain, but it will settle down again and back to normal. That's,
I am trying to just obtain some information on this particular subject, and from the information I am being given, it would appear that the prognosis is not very good. They are not saying to me that she is going to come to my world, but on the other hand, there does seem to be some very dark days ahead.
Yeah, I get the feeling there's some bleeding in the brain. But I can't tell anybody about it. It's just a feeling I have.
There is certainly some damage to the brain, to a certain part of the brain.
Yeah.
I do believe that some damage to the memory cells exists, and there could be a difficulty with memory.
Yes.
After this surgery, but there certainly is swelling without question, but that would be normal after such a serious operation.
Yes.
And I think that you are right in that there is some bleeding which has not sealed itself.
No.
A minor bleed,
Yes.
which is not showing on scans at the moment,
No.
but is there. And it certainly is not an easy path for this soul now. Without question, there is never going to be a fulsome life again.
No. I got that feeling.
Yes, but I believe that that certainly there is concern in my world, because I do not believe it is her time to come to my world at this time now. And so a great deal of work and energy is being done to heal.
Yes, thank you.
But certainly there are dark days ahead.
Yeah, okay.
So that is a difficult situation. So many difficult situations which are presented. Sometimes surgery which takes place in your world can sometimes do more damage because of, like you have said, bleeding and swelling and so on. Surgery is very invasive, and we have to work very hard following surgery to try to heal and to work, particularly in the brain and the heart, these two areas in particular, because these two physical organs are very, very connected in an etheric way to the etheric body. You understand that?
Yes, I understand.
The brain and the heart are the two physical organs which are strongly connected to the etheric body, and therefore they are very sensitive and need a tremendous amount of healing when surgery on these areas has been undertaken.
Yes, I will see her on Sunday when I get back.
Yes, so
Connect me with her.
yes,
Or,
yes.
send some messages.
But a lot of work is being done for her from my world.
Thank
I
you.
assure you of
you.
this. And but they are concerned because the soul still has experiences to go through, but she as a soul chose a difficult path, difficult lessons to learn, and of course this is part of it through which she is moving at this time. And so our prayers shall be with her.
Yeah. I went to Stephen yesterday. I have a
Yes, please continue.
I went to Stephen yesterday because of my back.
Yes.
I have a spinal stenosis. But I have to see a doctor next week. I have the feeling it's mending itself from the spiritual.
Many spinal conditions and associated in the skeletal area can, although it is not accepted in the orthodox medicine, can be brought about through non-physical cause. And therefore when your mental state and emotional state begins to be stronger and more vibrant, undoubtedly there is a healing of the physical condition. You understand that?
Yes, thank you.
And it may well be that that the surgery which has been contemplated may not be necessary. And I think that will be a judgment that you and your doctor will need to take. And I would suggest to you that you do not simply allow them to go ahead with the surgery until all tests have been carried out to establish that it is absolutely necessary.
Yes, I would
because
definitely consider
invasive surgery is always difficult to heal if things can be dealt with without it, as you know.
Yes.
So yes, of course, see your doctors, but do ensure that they do not rush you into anything until you are satisfied, because I would say that there certainly is an improvement in the condition.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
And I will count on my sensing, because this is what I sense.
Yes.
And I will trust it.
Yes, you are very body aware of your own body, and that is very good. It is something that people do not always recognize, that they can very much be diagnostic of their own body, and this is always a good thing, to be aware of your own physical body as well as your mind and emotions and your spirit. And it most certainly helps in the healing process, because the awareness and acceptance of something immediately facilitates healing to it.
Yes, I was, like we were doing in Stephen's class yesterday, when we're doing diagnostic, I wasn't doing so good the first, but they went better the second time, using my sensing.
Yes, feeling and sensing.
Feeling and sensing.
Absolutely correct, yes.
But the X-ray vision, that would come in the future then.
Maybe as required, but the sensing and feeling is the essential part.
Yes.
Very much so. Sometimes the vision can be there, and sometimes not.
Yeah, it has been fruitful and correct so far. So
yes,
I trust it.
Yes. And so just go with the flow, and use all of your faculties and senses, and enhance them to the maximum potential. And it will build and grow as it has already done for you so far. You must be pleased with your progress.
Oh yes,
yes.
So pleased with it, and I just had the opportunity to come and be with special teachers like your medium and Stephen. It is a real privilege.
We love to receive students into these situations. We seriously enjoy the ability to be able to work with you and guide you and teach you. We love these kind of places where you come together and build the power for us to manifest. And it is a great joy for us to be able to do so.
Will I be able, when I get back, if I started to help people in healing and doing similar things that Stephen is doing, would I get help from the spirit world to have a simulation in the classroom to help others go through their mystic status?
Yes, I am sure that you will, yes. Because it is intended that you will teach others, yes.
Yes, that's wonderful.
Yes, it is so intended.
Thank you very much.
So, my dear one, have our conversation been worthwhile this morning?
Yes.
Yes, it has been good to talk with you again, because you have much work to do, and we are desirous to give you as much support as possible in the work which you are to undertake.
Thank you very much, and send all my blessings to my relatives.
Yes, of course, and no doubt you will be able to visit them again sometime very soon in the future.
That's wonderful.
And see their smiling faces. Yes. So we wish you very many blessings with your work for your fellow man, and your work with those from my world.
Thank you.